Hey guys, welcome back to the Bat Cave. So tonight is more of an impromptu video. Um, this comes after watching a video of a mayoral candidate in Michigan, which, I live in Illinois, so that's not that far off from here. She was running on a platform for her city, which is a town of 95% white citizens, which whiter than the fresh snowfall in Chicago. But she made an argument when asked about diversifying her city that she didn't want foreigners, I guess you would say, in her city. She liked that it was majority white, and she had issue with the fact that some people wanted it to look like the rest of the world. Yeah. My issue with this is that I, not personally, but in my family, deal with this kind of issue. I'll give you an example. So, many of you know that I have two dads. I have a biological father and I have a stepfather. Now, my stepdad has been in my life for over 20 years. He has helped raise me for a majority of my life. He gave me away at my wedding, or did my father-daughter dance with him at my wedding. He is a very respectable man. But my stepdad has dealt with racism in his life. His family came to Illinois from Tennessee. And Tennessee, even though it isn't very southern state, has a lot of racism that pops up in certain areas. Well, his family is of African American descent, so that causes issues. And when my mom was approached by work, her department is actually leaving Illinois for a different state. And she chose not to go to the state for personal reasons. But a lot of my family has talked about leaving Illinois just because our governors pretty much end up in a jail cell eventually. And yeah, we're a little corrupt. Yay, Illinois. One of my sisters actually talked about leaving Illinois for like Kentucky or Tennessee, and my mom joked with him and was like, would you ever want to go back to Tennessee where your family's from? And he's like, hell no. because even in 2019, living in a southern state when you're of African American descent can be scary. He made a comment that at least in Illinois, at least in Chicago, he knows what he can expect. I mean, this is a man who worked for the state for 20 plus years. And he still has to deal with the same thing that every other person of his race has to deal with. That's crazy. I'm not saying that he's exempt because he worked for the state for 25 years. It's the fact that mothers and fathers have to teach their children how to interact when a cop pulls them over. It's the fact that somebody is going to racially profile them as something other than the decent human being that they are. Now, my niece has a new thing that she has to deal with in her life that scares me more than her, because she's more so blindly ignorant. And that's okay, because she's 10. But after the ICE raid in Mississippi that took hundreds of parents away from their children while they were at school, I got scared. Because my niece has Latin descent. And this little girl, this beautiful little girl, took after her dad's side in features. So my family is Italian too, so I didn't get it, but my sister's got the really nice olive skin, dark hair, dark eyes, like those features that you would find in Southern Italian people. But now you've also introduced the fact that she is of Mexican descent, and you've got this beautiful olive skin, dark hair, dark eyes, pretty much year-round tan little girl. And you have children like this that are out there fearing that ICE is going to come and take them away. I mean, we just had a teenager who was a U.S. citizen of Latin descent be detained for over 24 hours before being released back to his parents. He was a U.S. citizen. I have grown up with people who were under DACA. Their parents came to the U.S. when they were like itty bitty babies on work visas and decided that they loved this country. And while they were working their way to U.S. citizenship, their children were protected under DACA, which no longer exists thanks to Trump. So now you've got all of these people who were here from DACA legally protected, who are now fearing that they're going to have to go back to a country that they've never really lived in. That's bogus. There was an article that was just put out. A man who was brought here at 2 years old was returned to the country that he originally came from and died because he didn't speak the language. He had no family in this country left to like help and support him. He had no money. He couldn't get a job because he couldn't speak the language. So he died on the street. Like, that's fucked up. What kind of world are we living in now? And people are probably going to be like, well, Kelly, why are you talking about this? You're white. Thank you. I'm white. I'm a female. Yes, I could be out there fighting for the fact that I pretty much have no reproductive rights and equal pay and things like that. I mean, if you want to get on equal pay, sure. Yes, the average white woman doesn't make as much as the average white man for doing the same job. But what happens if you're a different color? What happens if you're a different race? Me and a coworker could be doing the exact same job and not be getting paid equally, even if we are both female, because they might be of Latin descent. They might be of African American descent, or Haitian, or Jamaican, or Dominican Republic. It does not fucking matter. We might be doing the same job, but because we don't look the same, we don't get paid the same. That's fucked up. It's fucked up in 2019 that me as a white woman has to use her white privilege to deal with these issues. When are we going to wake up and realize that we are all human and we deserve the same respect as the next person? When are we going to wake up? The civil rights issue was over 50 years ago, and we're still dealing with this. It shouldn't be happening anymore. But it is. And it's infuriating. Because yes, while these issues are not happening to me directly, I will be the first one to say shit. Because a decent human being is a decent human being no matter what fucking color they are. We should not be worrying about when a cop pulls us over, and we should not be worrying about being taken away by the government. We shouldn't be having children and parents in cages. We have bigger issues in this country. We should be worrying about gun control and mental health and healthcare coverage and things like that. Things that affect all of us. But we can't. Because I'll walk out tomorrow and somebody will play the race card and Sometimes I just want to punch those people in the face that want to have a white pride parade or a straight pride parade. Those people that are like, well, what about White History Month? February is for the Black people, and September is for the Hispanic people. What about the white people? Bitch, all of our history books are based on white history. That's every month is White History Month. You're bogus. Sit down, shut up, and learn something about other people. My family shouldn't have to fear moving to another state because of the complexion of their skin. All right. Rant over. I mean, it will never be over until it's done. But the words that I have for tonight are over. We need to wake up. And we need to do something. And it is our job of people who have pale enough skin to say something, to stand up and to say something. If something isn't right, say something. Speak up. Speak out. Use your privilege for something. I'll see you next time in the Batcave. Enjoy your night and think about that.